Budget is the life and death of a country. And this was definitely a statement that I think about numerously. And it is established to be true. Anybody could test this a million times. This statement is factual. Budget is the life and death of a country. Honorable Speaker, but how is it life and death of a country? Honorable Speaker, we distribute our national resources among various subsectors of our country. And I ask them to go and implement, execute this budget. We have a role to play in this. And in some deliberations, National Assembly members talked so much about ministries, departments, and agencies. Of course. Honorable Speaker, as we hold others to account, we must first meet our own obligations. That is a responsibility of everybody. Before you hold others to account, meet your own obligation. We have an obligation. We have a duty as Parliament, as members of the Parliament. Of course, if the ministry does not report to us in the midterm that this is how they execute the budget, what prevents this August Assembly, each committee, to go out there to various departments and ministries and see what prevails in the fields and ask them questions? Summon the ministers and the permanent secretaries to come here. We ask them questions. We generate reports and put them to task. So for them not coming here quarterly, it's not an excuse to say we don't know what is happening. We have every legal means to know what is happening. Legislation gives us that power. Are we doing that? Honorable Speaker, one thing that we definitely need to make clear, if we want much resources to be allocated to the departments and ministries, do we assess the revenue those ministries and those hospitals are generating? And each of them are coming with legislations and bills to say, we want 75% of our revenue to go to us. Do we know that 75, that 100% revenue they are talking about? Can any honorable member tell me that? Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, a simple test you want to do is $6,000, $5,000. Do we know the sum of that from on the 1st of January to 31st December in a fiscal year? And they are requesting so many things. We want to blame the Honorable Minister of Finance for that, for not allocating them resources. Let's go to that hospital, the health committee, and see the revenue they are generating. They need to report to this assembly. Some people are complaining that ministries, we do not get our necessary allocations. Is it the Honorable Minister of Finance that tells you, this is what you put at travel, this is what you put at your project, this is what you put there? The loan sum is disbursed to you. You decide where to put it. You prioritize it. If you prioritize travel, you travel. If you prioritize to do something, you do it. And Honorable Speaker, talking about the legality of the job that we're doing, I think we, the Honorable Members of Parliament, should be good ambassadors of our people. And the integrity of this House is not about the Speaker or any other person. It's about all of us. If we are doing anything illegal here, I think it's rather, if you think it's illegal, you excuse yourself. Because let me speak that without any fear of contradiction to the whole world and to this country. If there is any legal provision that says Parliament should not proceed on the consideration of the budget if the minister fails to do things, fails to come on the right time, then there we could definitely fall back on that legislation to do the right thing. But there is no provision that tells you, Parliament, what do you do when this happens? What do we do? Do we sit and wait until the legislation is done? Even a dot in this legislation, in this constitution, if you want to change a dot in the constitution, 3/3 of the members of this Parliament must say yes to that. Do we sit and wait for that to happen? Simple amendments in this constitution, we cannot agree on it. Honorable Speaker, before I conclude, I think it's important we look at efficiency and the way we use the funds of our country. But I want to start with head count 1 in the budget. Members, you know the budget line head count 1. Office of the President. Office of the President. Honorable Speaker, if we are talking about the ministries, the example should be set from the Office of the President. Honorable Speaker, let me put this clearly. In 2022, the approved budget for the provincial visit for the President, His Excellency, was $6 million. His Excellency